G'day guys, Mac here with a special episode of the weekly Scrubdown because we've got a lot of leaks and a lot of shit to catch up on. Here as always is Kat.
It's not always, but yeah, I'm here this time. Hello.
Yes, and we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff that happened over at Forge World, bunch of shit that just got leaked from Games Workshop, Nerd Rage, consequently, because of their design choices, we'll say. And all the new shit that's been released over the last sort of month where we haven't scrubbed down because, frankly, the releases have been coming in like ones and twos, and it never felt worth doing an episode covering one or two models at a time. So we've just thrown it all into one episode today. What have we been up to? Well, we've been to ACT. On the screen at the moment is a bunch of like orcs that I've been working on for my Blood Bowl and my Humies. The trophy I got from Act of Heresy. Wizard I'm working on as part of a narrative event. And this pretty cool just lasered Blood Bowl tray filler. So it just fills out your actual Blood Bowl starter box with foam so that you can put all the minis in it and the dice and you can just see where everything belongs. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It was cheap as well. It's like $50 or something Australian. And that was all the way from England, so yeah. Finishing up, finally got Rules for Thousand Suns. That made me happy, and that's about it. Kat, what happened in your world?
I haven't been working on much. I've started cleaning one of my 3 Crusade Nights. Crusade Nights? Crusade Nights. The flamey guy with chainsaw thing. So he's in a tub soaking at the moment. So I'm gotta magnetize him and stuff after. Gotta actually get the toothbrush on it because trying to get just soaking it in water with soap doesn't get that fucking oil off. So you gotta, or release agent rather. You have to definitely use a toothbrush on it and scrub the shit out of it. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point. Other than that, nothing. I should paint something for his children, but very not motivated. Especially just being triggered by GW, man. I feel tired, lethargic, sad. I might look at suing them. I don't know.
I don't know. I saw that leak today, and I wanted to go back in time and terminate myself, so I didn't have to see it.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's pretty bad.
So yes, we'll get to that. Geez, I think first things first, we'll just go to on Little Legend Studios page. There's a lovely picture of an event custode. Looks like the old dude from Dragon Ball Z, and I think someone put a picture of that down in the comments somewhere. Obviously this guy's, well, I assume he's less pervy than Master Roshi, but yeah, you know, maybe not. Although it is pretty cool that he's actually got an axe in his guardian spear instead of just like that weird spear halberd but not disproportioned thing that the plastic custodes have. I don't know, what do you think, Kat?
I don't like it. Some old guy with a big fucking executioner axe. Not my forte, but they are definitely receiving the love in Book 7.
Oh, yes.
Too much love.
Way too much love. Well, you know, it's typical games, well, typical Forge World. Every time they release a new faction that's not Marines in the Horus Heresy, they've got to be brutal. It's like Solar Auxilia, way better than Marines. Mechanicum, way better than Marines, although we do have friends that will argue otherwise. Militia, way better than Marines. And now Custodes, way better than Marines. So, yes.
Very. Yeah, I don't like it. It's an exclusive model. Are they free, the exclusive models? Do you get
No, you've got to pay for
you have
them.
to pay. Well,
Yeah, a lot of the exclusive models have their own rules as well, and they're often
True.
they have like different console options. And of course, the only way to get them is to get them from England. And where do we live? Fucking Australia. And I hit up Forge World before. I emailed them like, you know, why don't you guys just send some to Australia, sell them at the local GWs here or something. That way we can buy them too. And they're like, oh no, that would be ghastly, too much effort. How's about instead you come over to England and get them? That would be way better.
Yeah, the $3,000 flights and accommodation, just whatever, time off work. I'm sure that's just doable.
Yeah, that's way fucking easier than just
Did-
putting
did
a
you
couple
put
of
a-
blister packs in the mail.
Did you put a better proposal on them? Just like, well, China Forge will sell them.
Well, I
Anyway,
sent them a box of
$10.
redback spiders, but I think customs confiscated them. So
Yeah, well, China has your back. I wouldn't buy this from China. I'm not going to play custodes because you say it all the time that everyone's going to jump on the next bandwagon. This is definitely a bandwagon. I know.
oh, you're
at
calling it
least
your coin
3
bandwagon?
Okay, yeah, I will. For this one, I will. There'll be too many custodes. I wouldn't say 50%, but at least 40% of like act people. So many people are going to be playing custodes.
Yeah, but
Because there's
the
guys
thing is, these
that are
people are going
selling
to
their
pick up.
armies now.
These guys are going to pick up the army and they're going to play it for a week, and then they're going to sell it because that's what happens with every impulse purchase. People buy it, they make like one unit, throw up hundreds of pictures of that one unit they paint on Facebook, and then 2 weeks later, their whole army's on buy, swap, and sell with a little thing that says no splits, followed by 100 comments saying, "Can you split this?"
It's like, no, I want you to spend $5,000 on my $3,000 army because I painted this one unit.
God, but people do that. People fucking do that. It's hilarious.
I'll give you $5 for the bird if it's still alive. No, I don't. It seems to be a very sought after army, but then so are wolves. Everyone loves. Seems everyone. Well, not everyone, but Custodes are the top tier one, and next everyone seems to be wanking off over wolves. And where are the militia, man? Where are the militia? I have not seen a good, well thought out militia 30k army.
I don't know. I see a lot of
pretty
people
bad ones.
rolling Cadians and Catachans and just saying, yeah,
That's
Solar Auxilia.
fine.
The Catachans are just so fucking tough as nails. They don't need the Solar Auxilia exosuits. They just kick space in the balls. But
Yeah,
no,
anyway,
it's
I
usually
wouldn't get
usually shitlords doing that. So moving away from Facebook now. Fuck, do you want to tackle Forge World first and leave the clusterfuck that's GW till second?
So what do you want to do? Forge World first?
Yeah, let's just look at Forge World. Go to our happy place. So, I've got Imperial Knight Head 7, 6, and 5, or 5, 6, 7, however you will.
Yeah.
What do you think of Head 5 and 6? Me personally, I think they look fantastic.
Yeah, I like the other knight ones. They are on normal knights, or are they on crusading knights? No,
They're
on
just normal knights. Those
Yeah, I don't like them. I like the other ones, the standard ones. They just look. They're very Iron Warriors. I guess it'd work well for Iron Warriors.
I was thinking it's for like a crusading army, like something like Dark Angels. You have like that whole medieval bucket helm thing going on. These would make
That works too. Yeah.
good looking knight household because it's like a knight theme. But Imperial Knight number 7. Oh.
He's the fucking. The
He just
depressed
he
guy.
looks so depressed. No, don't make me knight today. Oh. He's that knight that always dies first turn.
Even in death, I still serve.
Yes, my lord. Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's the most hilarious one. If I'd have to get one of those, I'd have to take the
He's so
depressing.
sad.
At least it gives character.
You'd have to get like a couple of Blood Angels decals and put like teardrops coming down his cheek.
Holy shit! Yes.
Or does that mean
Oh
he's
my
like killed
God.
someone in prison? I can't remember.
Oh my god, that would work so well. Oh my god! So that's the Blood Angels confirmed, right?
You sure it's not
Sure,
the
Blood
Primarch
Angels
Sanguinius? Because that's the way the Primarchs are going.
It's the Zoid, man. That's his Zoid.
Zoid.
Jump.
Yes. Mechanicum transfer sheet. What's to say? It's a transfer sheet. Looks cool, huh?
Nah, doesn't really have any dark Mechanicum on it. I think that's what a lot of people are after. There's a lot of normal Mechanicum shit. Already?
People just have to wait out the witchy poo mutated demon engine stuff. It'll come. It'll come.
I don't think they should make it easier for
Book
Mechanicum
112, Dark Mechanicus Rising.
112. What year fucking... What, in the literal fucking 30,000, is it? Is that when that
Dude,
book's released, is
this fucking Horus Heresy thing And the way that they sort of have put a few filler books in, like book 6 and book 4.
Rumored book 8 is going to be a filler book. It's not. Sorry, you angel players, Dark Angels and Blood Type and White Scars. Sorry, book 8 apparently does not have your back in that.
It just reminds me of like the Simpsons Star Trek 12. The crew is old and tired.
Yeah.
It's like Alan Bly, just I complain, but nobody listens. Yeah, we get that joke, even if the audience doesn't. Yeah, the Hobbit stuff. There's some awesome looking Hobbit stuff coming out, but well, actually, I can't complain too much because the price is actually pretty good compared to the Games Workshop plastics, and that's disgusting. Because for $70, you can buy 12 dwarves from Games Workshop, and they look shittier than these dwarves. And here you can get 12 dwarves plus their command, and it'll only cost about 100 Australian dollars, which is pretty much that's pretty much equal or cheaper if you included like 12 models plus their command from The Hobbit from Games Workshop. It'll cost you a fortune. That game's so fucking overpriced.
Yeah, well, GW Australia is overpriced. I don't think anyone's complaining, arguing that, except for the odd 2 people that say...
Yeah, there's always someone. There's always someone. Oh, it's because you're so far away from everything. The shit is made in China, and we're the central distribution hub for all of Asia.
It gets cheaper once you cut out Games Workshop out of the fucking mix. If you go straight to the...
It's amazing how much they can drop the prices at third-party retailers and yet still make a good profit.
Well, I like these ogres. They're only because you could probably use them in militia for 30k for Oberons. Some sort of half man, half ogre, half Donald Trump guy.
Just I'm going to make Middle Earth great again.
Yeah, give him a little green stuff wig and stuff. That'd be sick.
Ooh. The Custodes stuff. So they've got the Contemptor Gluttus. I've noticed there's actually, in the rules that came out, there's multiple entries for different Custodes, Dreadnoughts. So this guy has his own little entry.
But what do you mean? Is he a special character, or is
No.
Because he's got a sword and a shield.
Yeah, Sword and Shield has his own entry, and then there's regular Custode Contemptor, and then there's the one with the spear is an upgrade to the regular one. It's bizarrely laid out. I'm sure it'll make more sense though in person. Or not, the Mechanicum Flyer rules, that thing makes no fucking sense, but whatever.
This thing is a lot of bits, I'm pretty sure, because you can make it dynamic. I want to see someone put it on a flying stand, and him doing those Chinese movies where they're flying around and shit. Basically that. So he's doing a flying. Why do they
do that in every Chinese movie?
Flying kick, or a double punch with his shield and sword in the air, or oh my god, 2 kicks front forward and punching out with his shield and his sword. That'd be so cool. You could make them more if you want to go dynamic. I've seen some pretty goddamn dynamic poses of this dreadnought. None of them on the Forge World website here, but you could make it do a somersault, I'm sure.
I can't take those Chinese martial arts movies seriously since I think it was Kung Pao.
Cool. I can't take Custode seriously since their release.
Oh, burn. I'm sure they're really feeling the sick burn right there at Games Workshop.
Yeah, and they're millions of dollars. Oh no, Mundane. Mundane lost a fight, I'm pretty sure, against Green.
Yeah, he did. That was pretty funny though in the boxing, because he's complaining. He's oh, this is the worst defeat of my career because we all know I really won.
Well, if I got $30 million to fight Green, I'd give it my old college try. I wouldn't be a win on TV, but I feel like getting $30 million for losing is pretty fucking good.
I think the best one's that dude who was live streaming it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So
so good.
Obviously, only the Australian viewers will know this, but they had this the Green Mundine boxing fight. Mundine is pretty much despised around the country for being a flog bag. Green, he's all right because he keeps his mouth shut, so people don't mind him. But yeah, Mundine and Green had their boxing match, and the only people who would stream it were Foxtel. And Foxtel, they're a cable provider, right? And they're like the worst of the worst. They're just the most useless cunts who charge the most money. You know, you get like 50 lifestyle channels on like the Kardashians for every one movie channel, you know. And you pay like $70 last night just to watch this one fight. It would cost you $70. Some dude went to the fight and just on his mobile phone started streaming it, and it got over 100,000 viewers at one time watching off this guy's phone. Wasn't too bad quality either. And the fucking Telstra people who own Foxtel rang him up, and he answered the call and he said, I can't hang up on my fans because there's 100,000 people watching and that'd just be rude. And he hung up on Telstra, the phone company.
That's pretty good. See, Telstra wouldn't be that bad, but they want to monopolize on stuff. They're the ones that are
monopolize on it
streaming
and smash the prices up like Games Workshop. So
yeah, and look, that's not a free market. When you get pay the government money to hire fucking goons to, you know, stop file sharing and normal stuff, then you're gonna have piracy. Cunts don't like being.
Well, it's not piracy because there's no legal precedent for it, funny enough, because they own sole corporate streaming rights, but technically there's nothing illegal about what he did. Questionable morally, maybe? But there are now...
How is that morally wrong?
It's pretty funny,
free
though.
Data. It's data packets. How is that morally wrong? How about... Here's one for you. How about Foxtel gets fucked and gets out of the fucking country and their fucking CEO just gets fucking killed? Fuck those cunts, man.
Yeah, I hate them too. Although it's pretty funny, there's now footage of it on Pornhub with the title Australian Man Fucks All Foxtel.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, we've diverged. Yes, Custodes. The vehicles look cool. I don't know why everything they have has to be super enclosed. It would be nice to actually see Custodes riding externally on like land speeders and stuff, but guess it's got to make them look unique. They've put more unique looking effort into these vehicles than they did the fucking Chaos in 40k.
So, I don't like them. They look like the Porsche of the 30th millennium. Well, whatever. It'll be annoying when every second other opponent is going to have these things. But Forge World are doing the GW thing there with the packet. You can buy one, or you can buy a packet of 3, which would be the same as if you just clicked 3.
Oh, it is too. Well, some things are discounted, but not these.
No, it just seems like a waste of space.
The Lehman Russ now has his wolves. Yeah, okay. I never thought that they were that gigantic, but apparently they are now. I think some creative license was taken with the size of the wolves because they've gone for full Thunderwolf cavalry size wolves, right?
Mm.
I always thought the wolves were sort of like half that size. You know, bigger than like the dire wolves from like the old fantasy ones, you know, but not as big as these. These are like fucking dreadnought-sized dogs.
Yeah, I'll deviate here. In the new Space Wolf, in Book 7, the Space Wolf rules, you can give your Praetors and Centurions up to 2 wolves as war gear, and you can also upgrade those guys to be cybernetic wolves as well. So it's just a couple of extra wounds, and they're getting a couple of extra attacks as well. And if they get killed by shooting, it doesn't count for the leadership role. Yeah, I don't know about close combat though, but still, it's pretty cool. Adds some flavor.
That is cool. Mighty Zug and Blood Bowl. I have the Mighty Zug model because one of those generous pommy bastards was good enough to hook me up with him. And Grok and Crumbleberry, which are 2 more of the star players from Blood Bowl. Unfortunately, being such a peasant, I wasn't able to afford the $3,000 round trip to fucking the UK just to pick up a 18-pound model. But someone who lives in the UK was nice enough to do it for me. So, many thanks to you again, my friend. Legio Custode Carbonus Grav Carrier. This thing looks pretty cool. It has a hatch at the back, which makes a lot more sense than a hatch at the front in some ways, but whatever, looks fine. I don't know, what do you think of it?
Looks like the other fucking vehicles. Slight modifications.
Here's a question for you, Kat. Why couldn't they just do the Grav Raider? Why did they feel they just had to do this? Just something very different. Was it just for the sake of being different, do you think? Or
Yeah, I reckon it's probably a marketing thing. They could unveil this shit and keep people in suspense and keep them all after flavor they see a new thing, and this straight up first emotion is I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. So rather than hey, I've seen that before, that's not so good. Seeing something before compared to something new, I guess.
What's the bet? These will be going on eBay for like £300 or something. There's already
Really?
Do you know the Inferno Book 7?
I can pre-order it for
the Inferno Book
price,
7
right? Yeah.
was already up for over £300 on eBay a day before the event.
Why? I can wait
as
another
a
2 days to
pre-order?
get the PDF.
Yeah, I know. The PDF will be out for the book tomorrow. It always happens. But, no, it's just... What they need to do is they just need to, like, number the books. Just put a serial number in it, and they can find out who the cunt is that scalps them every event. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, book number 173, that was sold to this guy. Alright, cool, we're not going to sell to you again, buddy.
Why? That's the freedom of exchange. That's fine.
And it's their choice to not
doing?
sell to the guy. So it is wrong. It's fucking reprehensible what they do.
How is that wrong? That's his choice. What's reprehensible is people are paying that actual price. That seems...
Well, that's true.
That's choice. The market is not forcing you to do it. If you came into people's houses, put a gun to their head and said, buy this or I'll kill you, using force, like, the government does, like with Foxtel, it's like either use Foxtel or we will fucking arrest you for illegal, what we've deemed illegal. What he's doing is not illegal, that's fine. He's actually gone out, got the tickets and flown down there or whatever. He lives next door across from where they're having
Yeah, but here's the thing, this cunt has the access to do that, right? And rather than going, like, in my mind, you'd be going along to an event, right? You're just there to enjoy the event. And if you happen to be able to get some miniatures early, great. If you want to sell them, great, right? You shouldn't be doing it to try and make a profit. You shouldn't be taking pre-orders on miniatures through eBay and jacking the price up 3-4 times the cost of it retail, right? Because that is just a dick move.
No, right? I don't think it is. I think that there is obviously a market for it because there is, and he's been doing it since.
But it's not just this cunt that's doing it. It's the fact that like many of these models, like the Mighty Zug here, right, £18 model, he was going for like £50 on eBay because the only way to get the model was directly from England. It wasn't because people were willing to pay the price, the £50. It's because the only way they were going to get him was to pay the £50.
You can buy him right now for £18.
No, you can now, but you couldn't a month ago.
When he was first
if
you released. Want it new, because there's only a certain number of them, obviously you're either waiting to pay time to get it cheaper.
But some, like Zug, will not ever come. Like Zug's coming for sale. Narek Drager, for example, the Pravian console. You want to get him? You got to go to Forge World to buy it.
I can go to China and get it.
But all right, you can go to China. I'm saying legally, they've created this scalping.
That's fine.
By being tight asses with their miniatures, they've created this scalping.
Yeah, of course. They've also done the same thing with the pirate community.
And this fucking pommy, probably I'm assuming he's English, asshole, is fucking...
I'm just going to assume that all English people are assholes.
He's able to just sit there and just say, oh, well, yeah, fuck the Australians, fuck the Americans, fuck anyone who can't actually come here, rather than doing the decent thing and selling you the model at retail cost, because he probably goes in and buys a dozen of them at once. He's like... No, I'm going to sell them at 4 times retail.
Why shouldn't he make the profit? Maybe this is what he does as a job.
Because that's called being a cunt.
It's not. It's being a cunt. So do you, at your factory work, do you just give out steel for people at the cost you pay for it?
No, but you're also running a business.
You're charging labour. So for getting up in the morning and stuff like that and going to work and producing the product.
Yeah, this person is not doing it, though. It's not their sole source of income, right?
So what?
And if it was... That's fine if you do it at a respectable amount, which is what third-party retailers do.
People are obviously paying it.
Yeah, just because someone's willing to pay it. I mean, people buy Mercedes cars, they buy BMW cars. Doesn't mean it was the best car they could have bought. It's just, they had the money.
Well, it's like collectible card games, right? So some cards are rare and uncommon because the company makes a limited edition amount of them, and some of them are fucking common as shit, and people are
Yes,
literally giving them away.
but
These things aren't getting given away. People are not willing to go there and have their time spent and buy the extra
difference between
miniatures
this
without
though.
making a profit. I don't see anything wrong with making a profit. But again, I'm not a communist, man. So
The difference between this and your collectible card game analogy is it would be the card game is only available in this one city in this one country, and it's a really good card, and it's a card you need or you want, or it's the only card of this type that will suit your army, and there's no way you can get it unless you pay these extortionate prices, and that's the situation they're in.
Okay, what about that cunt, the banker that had like 3 heart transplants? Like, he can afford that, and he's obviously paying a huge, exorbitant price for it. And it just comes up to the individual. Are they willing? Do they want the miniature that badly that they're going to pay 100 times the amount for it?
I think there's plenty of people who, if they found the guy that did these markups, they'd probably draw and quarter him. So.
Well, absolutely. Communists do that all the time. I heard a couple of weeks ago they fucking burnt down a fucking university and shit, and they were pepper spraying people because of their beliefs.
Yeah,
of course, people
are
are fucking bullshit.
Assholes.
Yeah, if people want it's property, it's fine. Who cares? If people are willing to do that, that's why you carry a fucking handgun and shoot them in the fucking eye when they come and assault you because you're selling a product. You're buying a product from someone else and then jacking up the price. What's wrong with that? People do that all the time, man. What about poor farmer down the fucking road? Poor farmer down the road. Safeway is only buying his grapes at fucking, we've got to take
there's
100
nothing...
ton for about 20. If you could give us change from 20, that'd be great. And then you go down to the shop to buy some fucking grapes, and they're fucking out of control. Why the fuck can't people just give shit for free? Why isn't property theft? Why can't we abolish?
Well, the market's supposed to be regulated. I know it's a contentious
no, it's not.
issue.
That's not a free market.
A free market still has... The whole point of a free market, as we run it in Western capitalism, is to... And I feel sorry for the poor viewers here, but... is you have to have competition. Without competition, the market is being run by one company, right? They just solely dominate it, and they can just fuck everyone around. That was like the whole thing with... what was it called? The
Foxtel. Foxtel...
Oil company, Standard Oil. Standard Oil in America owned all the fucking oil. So they broke them up. They didn't break them up very well, because it's still basically owned by the same fucking people, but they broke up Standard Oil so that way they couldn't charge as much on fuel. So they didn't have a monopoly over it.
Yeah, the only way people get a monopoly is with the use of force, and the only way they get a use of force is with government. You can't have a true free market with the government fucking interfering with people, and then, Foxtel going to the government saying, hey, we should be the only fucking cable producing cunts here. For TV, if anyone else does it, could you fucking shoot him in the fucking eye for us? Yeah, cheers. Here's a couple of grand. Like, that's not a fucking free market. That is a controlled market.
I didn't say Foxtel were assholes. I despise Foxtel, and I'd like to see them drawn and quartered.
It's not a true fucking market. But the shit will not come up like this, and at least it gives people a chance to get the miniatures, because for fucking God knows, Forge World's not doing it. And even if they did, I'm sure people would defend them saying, oh, it's their product, they can charge whatever fucking rate for it. Well, yeah, that guy went out, bought something, and he can resell whatever the fuck he owns for whatever price he wants. You don't have to buy it.
Yeah, and he can. I'm just saying, put a serial number on it. And then when they go, oh, what book number is that being resold? They go, oh, we sold that to Mr., Billy the Intern. Well, Billy the Intern, you're now not going to be sold Forge World products ever again.
That's the thing about serial numbers. They come off so easily.
Well, I was thinking printed into the cover of the book. So, But, if they did that, then maybe the fucking cunt would have to think twice about it.
I don't.
There'd be ways of getting around it.
Yeah, there is. So there's no point in putting that shit. It's not a fucking firearm, mate. It's not a fucking car.
It would only mean that the most determined of cunts do it. So...
He's making $300 per fucking thing, and people are buying it. Of course, he's determined. In fact, he should probably put up the price.
Anyway, now we've gone through all that. I'm sure for the 3 listeners that are still here, 40k. Let's talk 40k. All their new releases and pre-orders. So, I've just opened up 40k and clicked on pre-orders and new releases in the little tick boxes on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to quickly go down and point things out. So, first thing is that Triumvirate of the Imperium. They all look great. I still think the campaign's arse. Moving on. Unless you want to talk about them.
Nope.
For some reason, the Knight Crusader and Knight Paladin are both in new stuff. Don't know why. I don't really care. Kairos Fate Weaver. Auto change with the 2 heads. How cool does he look?
You had a problem with Magnus,
I did.
but you don't have a problem with this guy, which is basically...
No, because the things that I disliked about Magnus, he doesn't have.
He's a bird person.
He is a bird person. It's an auto change. It's supposed to be a bird person. I don't care that.
$190.
I don't care that Magnus was a bird person either. What I cared about with Magnus is sculpted on energy looks like arse in 40k. It kind of can work for fantasy, but 9 times out of 10 it looks like pure shit sculpted on energy and flame effects. And the fact that he had that big Quagmire masturbation arm full of bionics, which makes no sense in the fluff or in their explanation of it. And plus the the sculptor of it reckons that he spent 400 hours working on it, and I'd be firing that guy for wasting time on the job if he reckons he took 400 hours to make Magnus.
It's a couple of years of work there.
Yeah, he's full of shit. So, but yeah, I like bird person.
Yeah, it's not. I don't dislike it. I'm not going to get one. I don't feel like I should get one.
There's all these chaos formations, the Hounds of Abaddon. Lol. Nobody buys Chaos Warriors because they're terrible. Also, the Khorne Berserker sculpts are 20 years old. And they're still selling them at like full fucking retail price with markups at inflation and yeah. Fuck you, Games Workshop. Fuck you in the dick hole. Sometimes you just make me want to hate you. What about all these Eldar? Is this a good time to talk about the Eldar being formed into a new Age of Sigmar single faction gat?
Yeah, why not? Apparently the rumor, I don't know how true it is. Well, one, that freaking the Gathering Storm, that Beltan collection. All right, so the all right, what is he? That's a group of 3. I like that cat though. You know, the miniature with the cat. That cat's pretty cool. But their demon guy, their god or whatever, apparently that can kill Slanesh. So, you know, that could be the end of Slanesh. Also with that, they apparently are going to ban like they did in Fantasy. So, Dark Eldar and Elder Will, or whatever the fuck they're called now. Yerden or whatever.
Need or something, or Inid.
Okay. Elder. And Dark Elder will
not Fulgrim, we'll call him. Not Fulgrim.
How the hell are they going to do this? She's like, oh, sorry about all the slavery, old chap. Don't worry, it's fine. Right.
Oh, okay, here's the problem. Games Workshop wants to fuck Slanesh off because Slanesh is not kid-friendly. Because you and I were talking about this at ACT. When Games Workshop looks at Slanesh, even though they wrote it, see, all the people who were smarter that used to work at Games Workshop are gone, and all the people writing fluff now seem to have forgotten key aspects of writing fluff from like the early 90s. Slanesh is a god of greed and avarice, right? It's not just about putting your dick in things, and they seem to think that that's what Slanesh is all about now. It's the god of BDSM. No, Slanesh can be a god of any kind of excess. It could be smoking, it could be drinking, it could be pornography, right? It could be greed, gluttony, all that sort of thing is technically a part of Slanesh as much as it is any other god, you know? And instead of focusing on the fact that Slanesh is a god of vice, they've just gone, it's sort of very pig-headedly focused entirely on this whole pleasure from pain BDSM aspect. And because of that, they're like, oh no, that's not very kid-friendly. But how can we sell our World of Warcraft, Age of Sigmar models to the children? Won't somebody please think of the children?
I have a conspiracy theory, and I don't know if this means we're going to get Alex Jones on next, but it might be they're trying to get rid of Slanesh because the hobby is basically Slanesh. They want people to be spending all of their disposable income, even non-disposable income. You can paint by candlelight for all they care. They want you to have an addiction with miniatures and giving them money. There you go. GW is Slanesh, man.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I think they're fucking far more slick and slimy than that. They're more like EA. They take something that you once loved and they just shit out an inferior version of it every few years. Oh, you really like Battlefield 1942? Oh yeah, have battlefields, endless battlefields till the end of time. Have all the battlefields in the world. And then they're like, oh, awesome! They're going to do a World War One battle. Oh, it's just a World War One skin on a modern day shooter because everyone's got fucking machine guns. Cool. People don't know whether to take me seriously there and go like, this guy's an asshole, or whether they're actually going to use their heads and go, yeah, he's got a point. Either way,
that's pretty crazy. GW started putting 50 cents as a Whispering Ghost Hall for 391.50. There's also a Reborn Warhost attachment for 683.50. So they're getting that 50 cents in there, trying to.
Is that a discount? Like it was going to be 391. Oh, sorry, 392, and they dropped 50 cents off, and they're like, "See, it's a bargain. Pay up, fucking pay up. Where's my money, Brian?" They got the Change Host. Yeah, it's probably something you'd want to buy. The one with like the brimstone horrors and flamers and all the Zenchi poo shit. I'd buy that if it wasn't like $440. If it was half that. If it was half that, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. So you got to think. Games Workshop. Do you want to drop the price by half, and I guarantee I buy it, or do you just keep the price where it is and nobody buys it, and then you get to say, you know, because it's how capitalism works, right? You could drop the price a little bit and have heaps of people buy your product, or you can make it really high and try and recoup the fact that nobody's buying it by just making it very expensive. GW always picks that latter option. They always just go, fuck it, we'll make it as expensive as we can, and hopefully the limited sales will, you know, they'll make a profit for us.
I think that's more sales. Capitalism is just the freedom of exchange.
Yes, my bad.
And since they own what they believe, other than piracy, which they want to stop.
Well, they do own pauldrons and halberds and many other things, according to them.
Yeah, so whatever. But you can get it for half through China.
Yes, it's true. Yes, so they've repackaged a bunch of older shit together. Harlequins, Eldar, Dark Eldar are now one army, and Tim and I mentioned it in a comment on one of videos over the last week. Tim and I were having a joke around about Age of Sigmaring 40k, and we came up with all these bullshit names, like the Tower would become the Taldiri, the Necrons would be the Necrothoni, you know, just these bullshit names that they're trying to, really pretentious names they keep coming up with to make things sound, because they're really pretentious, to try and make it sound like it's, you know, this next level gaming, you know. Oh, Games Workshop's the smart man's wargaming hobby, and then like the very next day they released the Aldiri thing. Tim and I were like, "Are you fucking for real?" Like, you saw the screenshots, didn't you, Kat, of the conversation that we had on like the 18th of January, and we're like, yeah, imagine this if they did this. How lame would that be? And then Games Workshop's like, huh, you thought that was lame? Check this lame shit out. So
they're the hipster company, that's for sure.
Oh, then you got Renegade Knight. He's normal Knight, but I think he has a set of Renegade decals, and that's it. So they just up the price by like $30 just because he's got Renegade decals. It says Renegade on the box, and you got to pay the Chaos tax. It's like Chaos Rhinos, that sort of thing. Like they used to just be the Imperial one with they just throw a little single sprue in that makes it more chaosy. Still is basically. Yeah, that's how much they care, you know. They'll spend all this time and effort to make Custodes look really unique and different, and then Chaos just gets marine hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the new Zench models, demons look fantastic. I don't really care about the Gangs of Chimera game. I think that'd be great for Dark Eldar players who want to quickly build up their armies. I don't know why, because Dark Eldar players loathe themselves more than Chaos players. Yeah. New Changeling, he looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like the Changeling. It's pretty cool. There's some good opportunities there for randomized color and stuff.
The Blue Horrors and Brimstone Horrors, they look great as well. I don't know why they added Brimstone Horrors apart from...
The fuck is a Brimstone Horror? The tiny little horrors.
Well, you know how when you get a pink horror and you kill it, you get 2 blue horrors, then you kill a blue horror, apparently you get Brimstone Horrors now.
Whatever happened to pink horrors? Where are pink horrors?
There, well, on my screen, they're to the left of the blue horrors. They've got one box, and then blue and Brimstone have another box.
Okay, I see them. Yeah, sweet. So that's crazy. So is that how that's rocking now? You kill a pink horror, then you get 2 blue horrors. Wow,
and this has become a big problem for like the tournament scene, because now they're like, horrors aren't necessarily very good at all, but if players are rocking up to tournaments with 60 pink horrors, they then become 120 blue horrors, which then become 240 Brimstone horrors. You're not going to kill them before the fucking game runs out of turns.
They just can't put out that much amount of
fire. And if you're running a demon army, you could be using all the warp charge they generate to summon more horrors. So,
true.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Tournaments, man. MLG is fuck. If everyone's doing it, it's not a problem, is it?
Yeah, apparently. So there's a bunch of data slates and shit and ebooks. Again, it's great to see these ebooks coming out at fucking full retail price. It's not like it's imaginary fucking electrical data in a computer. No, you just charge full price Games Workshop for the fucking
data is still real. Look, yes, I can understand that, but they're worth, and that's fine. But they don't have manufacturing cost as much as you would with a book, and you'd hope that they'd reflect that within distribution of data.
And they don't.
But they don't. But they do, because people fucking hack the shit out of it, break all the encryption, and then just put it on file sharing. So.
Yep. Karma's a bitch.
It's not karma. Karma can only be distributed by the universe. This is human action.
It's got me there, you know.
It's called when people don't want to pay full retail price for data.
Okay. Fair enough.
$50
There'll always be someone out there who does it, but less people would do it if it was a more reasonable price.
I wouldn't even bother going on and downloading these books, to tell you the truth, because they don't interest me whatsoever.
Alright, so we've covered Forge World, we've covered Games Workshop. I think it's time to cover the poo of the week. Here we go.
Drum roll.
Roberto Gilliman and his special Triumvirate, which for some reason includes Dark Angels and Grey Knights. And because Zench models are new, it looks like Zench are going to get a pounding. Because, we had 5 minutes in the spotlight, now we've got to be put back in our fucking place. So, Kat, what do you think of the Triumvirate of Roberto Gilliman?
Not only will it be the worst model of the year. Actually, no. Okay,
I think you underestimate.
I can't see. I've gone that. I've. All right. Maybe. All right. The lion might be. Could you imagine if they just go down this path with the lion? Jesus Christ. All right. So obviously, this model has confirmed that the Emperor was ancestral. So it's just that bad. Seriously, it is the worst model I have seen produced by Games Workshop.
See, you know what?
It's at least top 3.
It's a funny thing, because the Grey Knight character, I want to talk about him first. Let's go to. He's got a little individual thing up top.
Okay, he looks like a normal fucking plastic Grey Knight you can make out of the plastic set.
Yes, and here is the problem with Grey Knights that I've stressed since their re-release in 3rd, 4th edition. I said at the time, you can't make an Grey Knight character look different to the people around him because they're all too blinged up. And the way you make Marines look special is by blinging them up. The only thing you can do to make a Grey Knight character look like a character is put a cloak on. And as this proves again, every time that Games Workshop makes a character, they put a cloak on him. Brother Captain Stern, have a cloak. Drago, have a cloak. This dude, have a cloak. They give him cloaks, or in Drago's case, they gave him, I think, a storm shield. But, yeah, you can't do anything with them. They're boring because their characters look exactly like the everyday Joes in the army.
No, is it Garrow?
No, it's not Garrow, no. Garrow didn't become a Grey Knight, I don't think. He was like the first Inquisitor. The first Grey Knight was a Blood Raven / Thousand Sun.
I thought you were going to say Blood Bowl player. After
yeah, it was the Mighty Zug. First chapter master of the first Grand Dragon of the KKK. I mean, whoa, wait.
Whoa, man.
No.
No,
Yeah,
this looks
dank.
pretty bad. It's just a plastic miniature.
It doesn't look bad. It's
Not
a
bad,
Grey
just
Knight.
generic.
It's samey. It's very samey.
It looks like you could make him out of the plastic box set.
What about Cypher? I actually really like the Cypher model. He's just got some weird shit going on. His back is very busy. His front is perfect. I have not got any
plasma
pictures of his
pistol's
back
too
here.
big for me. The plasma pistol is way too big. It detracts from the rest of the miniature. His cloak,
Well,
how hard
have
is
you
it to get a new
noticed-
cloak? Like stitched on his head there. It's falling apart around his body. There's holes all over around it. Holy crap! That's
Well,
just-
you see, times are tough because he had a fur cloak, but then Peter complained to Games Workshop, and he had to get rid of the fur cloak.
Right. He's got the lion sword there on his back.
Finally scaled
Looks like-
appropriately as well, because the old one was
Yeah.
just it was literally a Chaos Warrior sword from Fantasy, the original Cypher model. And you used to be able to get that sword in plastic on the Chaos Warrior sprues back when the Chaos Warriors were the hunchbacks.
Does it give him an aura effect? Because there's no way in shit he's getting that off his back. Back scabbards aren't a real thing in real life. So, what the fuck?
No, he is not able to use the Lion Sword. It's actually broken. It's wannabe Underreal from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So until he finds Aragorn, the Lion of Caliban, it will not be reforged by the mystical elves into Mjolnir, the Hammer of Thor.
For his pose, it just looks like he's like, I'm not shooting this plasma pistol. I'm not in it. I'll have to roll a Gets Hot roll. I'm going for this sweet bolter pistol with Link attached to it. Bolt pistol with Link? Man, I just never got that deal.
I've always found that funny because as an armourer, that's not how belt feeds work, but whatever. You can't just plug a belt of ammunition into the receiver of a weapon. Like, machine guns, very specifically designed to fire belts of ammo. And even a bolt gun would have to apply to some of these same principles, even in the far fucking future of the 41st millennium. Why do I know that this? Because they keep doing drawings of them that show their working parts. So there's nothing mystical going on inside a bolt gun. That said, his pistol that he's holding up in the air, you can see it's got like a little spout, like a flamer, on the front.
Yeah, true.
And it's got like an echo of a grav gun between like the nozzle and the plasma bit. There's a plasma bit, but above the plasma bit and before the muzzle is like a graviton bit.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think what they've done is they've just given him a
Plasma flamer res.
yeah, they've just given him like you fire it as whatever you want each turn, maybe, like as a hand flamer or a grav pistol or something.
And what about
on
the
his
old-
back? Sorry, you can't see it, but on his back, he's got like exhaust pipes that go around the sword because of the way the sword's held to his back. And then he's got like all these random like extra exhausts on the right hand side of his backpack. It's really bizarre from behind to look at. So
Well, a lot of people want a Cypher back, so hopefully they're happy. This is not the worst model. It's just I'm not really a fan of the pose myself. I like the
it's
old.
fine. Just give him a different
two
backpack. He'll be fine
pistols.
for 30k as a
I like the
Moritat.
two. Oh, fair fucking call actually. That is a good call. He can be used in 30k quite well. Except he's got the lion sword, so he's just like, hey.
Yeah,
What are you
that's
doing
why you
with my
change the
stuff?
backpack because the sword's attached to the pack.
I prefer the whole two pistols out thing.
Oh, dicks out for Harambe, yeah. Yeah,
What?
that's him. I think we need to talk. We need to talk about Girly Man. I really don't want to.
It is the worst miniature I've seen so far of anything, especially at the scale of it was. I've seen, I mean, talking way back when, the Crimson Fist chapter master, where he had the hand above his head, his power fist and stuff. That was pretty bad. That was a pewter model. No, sorry, it was white metal model. That was pretty bad.
Oh, the Codier's model.
Yeah. Before the most recent one, where he's put his hand out to the side or whatever at the front.
Yeah,
That's okay. I like that one. But the one prior to that, where he had, the hand above his head, that was fucking atrocious.
Where he was like he was being hit by like a Looney Tunes boulder, like Wile E. Coyote, and he was like, real, like he had this real flat pose.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But this makes that look a fucking like a genius produced. This is just awful.
See, just when you think Games Workshop is doing things well, and I put out a video just the other day saying that they've done some good things, they release shit like this. He is a Sigma Marine. He's got like the same shit. In fact, I'm going to go into the Age of Sigma window that's still open. Right? Oh, sorry, the Games Workshop one. I'm going to go to Warhammer Age of Sigma, and I'm going to find the Sigma dudes with like the wings. Right? The Sigma Marines with the wings. Where are they?
They're cool. So with the halo and stuff.
He's got like the halo, and he's got all these little spiky bits coming off.
For me, the legs are just out of proportion of the top half of his body. It looks like he's wearing a corset. His hips are just not good. He doesn't do leg day. His shoulders are too big comparison to his legs. And sure, they've always had big shoulder pads, but this is like shoulder pad syndrome. He's got the huge hand going on.
Here we go. The Celestant Prime. The Celestant Prime looks like fucking Gilliman. Right? This fucking dude has like this big halo with the spiky bits behind his head, and he's got the same sort of armor vibe. And yeah, this is fucking Gilliman, right here. This shit is Gilliman. See, what's more frustrating is, like, they've done that thing that they keep doing with Chaos, where they've just gone more gold trim equals better model. No, it doesn't. And they've put the gold trim on that they started with their Custode models, where it's like this really curvy, like filigree script. Because old school Space Marine trim is just straight lines, right? And Chaos is like jagged lines because they're evil, and pointy means evil. And this guy's got like this curved filigree shit, and yeah, it just looks fucking shit. And his face, it's like Gilliman got stung by like bees, and it turns out his Primarch weakness is actually an allergy to bees, and now he's like all swollen up and shit inside his armor. And he's got this really fucked up face with a jaw that's so square that fucking Robert Zadar is jealous. Google Robert Zadar and you'll know who I'm talking about. But yeah, this fuck me, this model is terrible. And what's worse is you compare it to the Forge World Gilliman. Why not just copy this? Give him a new pose, update some of the war gear to represent the different millennium. Why did they have to turn him into a fucking Teletubby StarCraft fucking Marine? For those who are curious, this is a StarCraft Marine on the screen right now. This has better proportions than Gilliman does right now. But it has those over-exaggerated pauldrons, it has the funny-shaped bulbous legs, and like, it's like the armor is form-fitting to Gilliman.
Mm.
You know, on all the other Marines, the armor is like this big bulky suit, but on Gilliman it's like, it's tied around his waist and thighs, so he's got better movement in battle. Wow. Like, fuck. How do you fuck up something so simple? It's like Forge World did all the work for you. They made a Gilliman already. You just had to look at it and go, what's good about that? Alright, let's keep the good things about that. Instead, you just went, fuck, let's just throw that out and start again from scratch. What do you think, Billy? Billy snorts a fucking line of coke, does a fucking shot of vodka, and has a cone, and the whole time, and then he sculls a beer while holding the fucking cone. And then he's like, well, have I got an idea for you? StarCraft meets Age of
We'll
Sigmar.
just throw in some Teletubbies in there, because why the fuck not?
This
It's
fucking model is
bad.
terrible.
It's sickening. And if they needed something to separate 40k players and 30k players now even more, this is going to be a hotbed of contention. If you like this model, seriously, just go see a doctor. This is really bad. You have some bad taste. I guess you'd like feature walls where you're just kicking holes through your wall in your house. This is pretty bad. I understand it's Power Fist. It just looks out of control. It just adds to the derpiness. If he is the embodiment of grim derp.
You know what? That Power Fist is the only thing I like about the
Jeez.
model. That's the only thing I like, and
It
I
just
don't
makes
like it
it
on this
look
model.
his legs even fucking smaller.
It's like he's got this tiny little head, and his torso is built like a Contemptor. This is a Contemptor Dreadnought. That's where we're going wrong. It's actually a Contemptor Dreadnought with a flayed one disease, and he just like went into Gilliman's tomb and peeled his face off his rotting corpse and put it over his own Contemptor head. And people are like, the Primarch has arisen. The Dreadnought's like, oh yeah, yeah, that totally. Nah, but like seriously, it's fucking shit. I mean, Forge World made. A lot of people don't like Forge World's Gilliman for his pose. They find it too static, right? But the Julius Caesar version of Gilliman is appropriate for Gilliman, right? This is basically the character, right, who
He's a
goes
fucking
to,
statistician, man.
goes to sleep. Yeah, this is basically the dude that goes to sleep in the stasis pod after getting poisoned by Fulgrim's blade, right? So when he wakes up in the fucking future, why would he be different? He has no reason to be different. Time has passed, but not for him. He wakes up and he'll be like, oh, okay, everything seems to have turned to shit
Don't worry,
around
sir. We'll wake you up as soon as we find 17 stab wounds to the back.
me. Why was he the first one? Like, the smart man would have gone, okay, what are the main rivalries? Oh, okay, Magnus and Russ. Perhaps we should bring out Magnus and Russ in the same campaign book together. Oh, no, wait, sorry. If we do that, we won't be able to string out the campaign over 400 books. Yeah, no, that's bad.
Books,
Bad
sell
GW.
them, make them money, man. They need books to sell. So this makes sense on a marketing side of you, but it's just the model just looks atrocious. I know there's people out there that do like the model. You know what? Fuck. At the end of the day, it's your business. But there was a guy that said he was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, look, opinions are subjective unless they're mine, in which
He
case
said,
they're
"Oh
right.
fuck, that's I just bought the Gilliman model yesterday." Well, good. From Forge World, he's saying, and he's just like, "Oh, I should have waited." This is March, by the way, for those people that don't know. March, the White Dwarf, say Primarchs are back and all this other shit. So I don't understand where the story's going, and I don't think I like it.
This is terrible. It's just terrible. I don't know what it is, though. There's no one thing that I can point to and say, that's the cause. If you fix the... Like with Magnus, I could just say, fix that right arm. Fix that derpy-looking magic ball on his sword. And great, perfect model for me. I look at this and I'm like, is it the sword? No, it's shit. But
I like the
that's not
flaming
it.
sword.
It's like...
The old flaming sword.
It's kind of...
Doesn't fit. No, definitely
Yeah, but it doesn't
not.
suit
But
Gilliman.
obviously,
It doesn't suit this model.
story is that he picks up the Emperor's sword or has the Emperor's sword or some shit.
Oh, you know what? Fuck their stories. Fucking the way they've been writing this whole fucking end times campaign bullshit for 40k. It's like they got CS:GO on or something to write it. Like they're worst writers. Because I don't even want to go into it. It's a whole nother fucking problem. But they're just doing a shit job of it. You know, especially next to like the Horus Heresy series of novels, which are just fantastic. You know, overall fantastic. You know, there's some stinkers in there. This model is like a stew. This whole campaign is like a stew, and they just keep adding worse ingredients into it. You know, it's like, oh, here's some rotten beef. Oh, here's some fucking laxatives. You know, and you can't point to the one thing that fucks the meal for you. But you know, the meal is fucked. And yeah, I don't know what to say. People are probably listening right now going, "Oh, Macca, aren't you being a bit harsh?" No, because they made a really good Gilliman. Right? The minute they made a really good Gilliman, the minute they made any good Primarchs, and even Magnus in 40, they set a standard. And that's the standard you expect. And you can't be like saying, "Oh, that's not fair on them." No, they established that standard. Right? They don't get to just backtrack from that standard. So, yeah. Fuck this new Gilliman model. Go the old Gilliman model. Don't buy it. Don't buy this out of proportion Warcraft meets StarCraft meets fucking Age of Sigmar piece of shit. Vote with your wallets. And if you do like it, normally I'm pretty respectful of other people's opinions, but you're just wrong. You're just wrong on this one. If you do like it...
I think it's the legs for me, and the head, and the shoulder pads, and the body. And
it's like all of his limbs.
And his weapons. I like the little eagle
That's
on the
all
base.
of his
I
limbs,
can't see what else is on the base, but I like the base.
Why does he have purity seals all over him? I'm pretty sure Robert Gilliman would not give a fuck about purity seals. Was it like he woke up, saw the state that the Imperium was in, and how shit it had gone? He was like, totally forgot his former personality, and they gave him an all new one that's full of like righteous Imperial zeal. Like, oh, these purity seals will ward off the demons. He's like, pretty sure they fucking don't. They're like, oh no, they do. Trust us. And he's like, just humoring them or something. Yeah, no worries. And like, puts it on half-assed, just a bit of sticky tape, just puts the purity seal on. I don't know. It's just shit.
It's pretty bad. And the second company is following him around. I thought third company is the gold ones, yellow. Second company is the Tyranid veterans, yeah. Okay, so this is third company.
Second company is yellow. First
okay,
one
these
white.
third company were the guys
third
on
company. Fourth company is green.
Tyranids and shit. So he's like, all right, we'll get the Tyranid specialists to fight against Itch. Shouldn't you get fourth company, the green dudes that have fought against Chaos and shit? It's like, no, I know what I'm doing. I've got this giant hand and this sword, and my legs are like long leg syndrome. Jesus Christ!
This end times process, I gotta quickly say something about it, because it's just been stewing in my mind for 5 minutes while I raged. They wrote this fucking Fenris thing, right? They couldn't just let the Thousand Suns win. No. It has to be some convoluted scheme, and the Space Wolves, like, the power of fucking Mary Sue compels them. And then, like, just stupid shit. Like, they wrote about fucking demons and sorcerers turning themselves into fire and swimming through the crust of Fenris to burrow into the Fang Fortress from below. So if you can burrow in through fucking below, why don't you just burrow through the fucking side? Why do you have to swim through the crust? Why are they writing it this shit? It could be as easy as Abaddon launches the 13th Black Crusade, Cater is overrun, and then the legions spill out into the galaxy unchecked and uncontained. And instead of doing that, they've written this like this convoluted thing where, like, the Necrons are coming in, throwing their Pokeballs around, and Zench is trying to warp the planet of the sorcerers from the Eye of Terror into reality itself, which in my mind would make it fucking a much weaker planet to defend, but whatever. And then this is the kind of shit they're writing in this campaign. How are they writing fluffs? The last time fluff was written this badly, Matt Ward was writing codexes. Is that what they brought him back for? Is that what they brought him back for? Writing this fluff. Like, I could piss out better fluff.
Well, on that,
Thursday
apparently
morning.
you're the most creative in the morning, like within the first hour of you waking up. So, it's probably good you do stuff in the morning, writing or art or music.
See, all right, look at what Broke the Fan series I've been doing. I calmly and rationally sat down and said, here's the problems with this list, right? And this is the simple fixes for it. And people, overall, overwhelmingly, have agreed, and where they haven't agreed, they've given me their own input, right? That I can take on board and say, yeah, that's, you're right, or you're wrong for these reasons, right? And together, we've, I can sort out in a half-hour video a problem with the codex. How the fuck
Well,
come it
what do
takes
you mean,
GW
Tim?
10
They brought
fucking
out
years to
fucking
do
kill
it?
him and after he was poisoned, and now he's got fucking some disease of tight armor around his legs. Are they Under Armour fucking pants? I don't understand the deal.
Oh, no. You see, this
Yeah.
is special
I don't
armor
like the
designed for
flaming
fighting the
thingies
Zerg.
on the base. I think they'd be good on a Word Bearer's Land Raider or Rhinos or something. I think they would be pretty cool. But I do like the base.
Have you noticed the base has like an
Yeah.
it's like a broken Aquila that he's standing on? It's like a
Actually,
shittier
fair
version of Horus's Aquila that he's standing on. Well, you're trying to, I don't know, it's like DC movies trying to, beat Marvel at their own game. It's good you're trying, but you're missing the point. You don't understand why people like it. People don't play 40k for the cartoonish sculpts. And that's what this is. This is a fucking cartoon version of a Space Marine. That's not why people are playing the game. Sure, some asshole will comment to me, as always happens. Oh, but I enjoy the game for that reason. Yeah, look, I'm not saying literally 0 people out of fucking 7 billion on the planet play the game, right, for cartoony reasons. It's not that 0 people do it, but the percentage playing it for the cartoonish aspect
I bet you it's a clear
very
base.
fucking small in the scheme of things.
I can see why
Ooh.
clear bases will probably like this miniature. It'll be
yeah.
weird, really hard for them to base it because he's standing on like an Aquila, so they're gonna have to get like a clear cube and glue it on their clear base. So he.
Maybe they can cast a clear version of his base, cat. No, you should
Okay,
quickly
clear
explain
basing.
clear
So
basing, and we'll finish
more
the episode
standard
on that.
sand or actually painted bases with stuff on there. Usually 3 things, like you'll have sand and a couple of colors in there and a flock, some grass and another flock, or some dead helmets, dead guys or whatever. But yeah, there's been this new fad now. It's just clear kind of coins that you just glue your miniatures on. And so I can see why some people like them because of the whole neoprene mats, and that way you can see the neoprene mat through the base. But you see these people with the same clear bases, they're putting weathering powders on their miniatures. Makes not a lick of fucking sense. But anyway, I'm
No, alright, so pros and cons real quick of it. Pros, you can see the base, through the base, and you can see the table you're fighting on. So the model doesn't actually look like it's, carrying an ice-covered base around on a lava planet or something. I'd say that's the main pro of it. The second pro is it's quick and easy to do,
count it
so
as basing
everyone
your
can
army.
base their armies by doing this. That's it. That's the pros. I don't either. Because here's the problem. When you move the base around anything other than a neoprene mat, it scratches up the acrylic of the base. Second, the people usually will join them with super glue, not a clear adhesive. So you get a lot of frosting on the bases. Third thing is that people often weather their models, and you have this grimy marine weathered, often with like orange dust or something, or red dust for like Mars, walking around on an ice planet. And that makes no fucking sense, right? Because, yeah, the base now matches the planet, but the fucking model still doesn't. Third, the base complements a model in my books. It helps tell the story of the model in many ways. Maybe not so much for individual infantry, but especially for characters. Often there'll be dead bodies or trophies on their bases. So all in all, I think clear basing is just utter shit for those reasons. Because, I think most people doing it are not doing it to actually achieve the effect of, my model looks like he's standing on this table. Most people doing it are doing it because they're lazy, entitled
have
cunts
perfectly
who
good
don't want
based
to base their
armies.
armies.
That are going clear bases though. They're cutting them all off, all their nice painted up bases, and they're just going clear base. The fuck?
Hey, I didn't say 0. I just said that, 10% of people doing it for a reason, and then you got the other 90%. The other 90% are like, no, it's just fucking easy. And the other 10% who's like, no, I like it. And, hey, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
fuck.
You like
There's
it.
some hard questions, man.
They're out
Would you
there.
prefer a clear-based army or an army with the new Gilliman in it? Jesus, I don't know.
Clear-based army.
They're both pretty bad. No.
So it's like a choice between like just two very shit things, isn't it? It's a catch-22 of the worst kind. This model is terrible. I gotta reiterate that before the episode ends. This model is terrible, and the sculptor should feel bad.
Who knows?
And I don't need
I
someone
don't really
in the comments
blame
going,
the sculptor
"Oh,
because it's
you know,
usually
he
it's
tried."
like
I don't give a fuck if he tried.
you know, a computer game developers and shit like that. They are usually getting hounded by marketing and shit and being like, no, change this, and give it more balls or whatever.
Yeah, but I blame the sculptor because the sculptors they're getting these days aren't necessarily fans of the IP. And they don't understand what they're sculpting. They just get a drawing.
And then that
or
goes
a
back and they
description,
say
here's
change
what you
this,
gotta
and goes to the
sculpt,
board and they
do
say
their
change this.
best.
So his
But
original,
because
the original model probably didn't look like this.
Yeah, there's probably
fucking
some
old. It's
suits
probably
there.
the original Gilliman or Gurliman, and they just gave him a fist and he was carrying his normal sword. And then they were like, oh no, give him a fucking wraith on his head, make his fucking hair like it's a
You
fucking
know what this will...
conditioner commercial. By the way, his sword has to be on fire. Also, his fucking pants should be skin tight as fuck because that's how armor works.
You know what
Oh
looks
shit, he
looks
does
like
too.
he looks
Holy
like
fuck.
Optimus Prime.
Zoid as fuck. Jesus Christ.
Zoid Primarch
He does.
confirmed. He looks like, Ultramarines, roll out. And why is his sword flaming? I get it's the Emperor's sword, but I always took it as like the Emperor's sword is just a sword, and when he channels
Blood
his
Angels have flaming
psychic
swords
might
in
through it,
their
it becomes
armory
a flaming
for 30k,
sword.
so
You
it's
know,
like a legit flaming sword.
because it. I've not seen it though.
It's a flaming sword, and
You sure
they
it's not
also
just, like,
create
the heat
burning.
aura
So
around
the
the sword, 'cause there's a lot of descriptions of weapons like that in 30k. So maybe this isn't the Emperor's actual sword. Maybe it is Optimus
fucking
Prime's
Zoid,
burning
it's
sword.
confirmed. We called
Fucking
it months ago.
archaeotech passed down
Months
through
ago,
the
we
ages.
called it, and this is happening. Ultramarines roll out.
Zoid's confirmed. We called it, yeah. This is just fucking abysmal. I fucking hate this. There's not many things I purely just hate. Often there's redeeming features. I'm like, well, if you did this with it and maybe you did this could be a great model. This will never be a great model. Not unless you're fucking turning this into a completely new model. Go buy the 30k one. 40k players, go buy the 30k one. Get some recast versions of that fucking right hand from China or something, and put those on your 30k Gilliman.
Make a good conversion
and
for Trump.
He'll be
though.
perfectly
Blonde
fucking
hair and
usable.
shit. Easy memes. That's paint.
Yeah, but
They have green stuff for that.
Trump doesn't have like that sculpted jawline. He's got like jowls. Oh, true. Maybe you can use old man fucking grey knight.
Yeah, it's
there.
pretty taxing. As soon as I saw this, I felt lethargic
Use
and
his
sad
face,
and
give him a
depressed.
shave.
It does reinforce the whole fuck 40k there.
Like I said at the start, I wanted to go back through time and terminate myself so I didn't have to see this. This is just shit. And you know the thing that hurts, Kat? Look at the Ultramarines behind him, removed from them. He looks closer in style to the fucking
Yes, he
Thousand
does.
Suns Terminators in the bottom of the image. The blue is completely different. The gold is way the fuck over the top.
Yeah,
Even the
if they
30K
used
model has
the
less gold on it.
Second company or whatever, the dudes with gold trim on them, at least they would have fit in a little bit more with Gilliman, but I guess that would have contrasted too easily with the Thousand Suns. But yeah, like you're saying, he looks too much like, yeah.
he's stylistically completely fucking different. So, yeah.
Even if they don't
just
fuck the universe, this is truly
delete
the
this.
end times.
Please delete this. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching the weekly Scrubdown. I apologise to all our listeners who got cancer from seeing this model. If you send me your name and address, I'll send you some medicinal anthrax.
Spoilers, he'll
and
just send
hopefully
you this
that will
model.
cure the cancer. So.
Oh my god.
Only the people I
model.
don't
I'm
like,
so
and I
sad
like
now.
most of our listeners, funny enough. Yeah, is this the point? Is this the... one last thing actually I want to bring up is chicks posting on Warhammer pages. Nothing wrong with chicks posting on Warhammer pages, and I will do a What Broke the Fans, I think, about it, or at least a public service announcement. But people, if they do shit, don't just keep liking their stuff. They're not just going to sex you for giving them a like. So...
No, I see that.
Need to say that.
Regardless of the sex of person, I think people just like things just for the fuck of it. I do. Well, I'm a cat.
But you're not like most people. And on that note, thank you all.
Hope you
for
guys
watching.
get a good copy of
Kat,
book
any last words
7.
for our beloved
Should be
audience?
some interesting reads. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Forge World coverage that's coming out. Oh, by the way, it's going to be live streamed. The Q&A is going to be live streamed at Warhammer World. So, okay, gotta spend $70.
Oh, a Foxtel going to clamp down on that one.